Welcome to 15 Minutes to Fame, the podcast where big dreams meet small, consistent action. I'm mikO Tolliver, and I make my living as a multimedia artist. I work in film, I play guitar, I do screenwriting, and all kinds of other artistic adventures. And my biggest belief is if you can visualize something, then you can manifest that goal or dream by starting with the plan and then committing yourself to just 15 minutes a day to make it real. Whether you're an artist, entrepreneur, or chasing something bigger, this is your space for motivation, real talk, and practical steps to keep you moving forward. It's 15 Minutes to Fame. Welcome everybody to 15 Minutes to Fame. I'm mikO Tolliver. I'm here with my friends A.
What up?
And Antonio.
Hello.
A goes by at YannaT. What is it, YannaT?
904.
YannaT 904. Mm-hmm. Antonio doesn't like you to follow
Antonio T at 510.
Antonio doesn't like for you to follow him on social media. He's just a ghost follower. He just follows you.
Maybe you
I don't follow. I don't
Ghostbusters
follow anybody.
outfit.
Am I really a ghost if I don't follow anybody?
I mean, I don't feel like you engage. I engage. You can contact me. You can follow me at mikO Tolliver, 2 L's. I'm putting up little things for you guys to see how it's spelled. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Fame. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow. Thank you, everyone who's been participating in this fun. I guess these are our costumes today. Mm-hmm. I'm a bunny. I finally got to wear the yellow, the
yellow bunny?
The pink bunny. I'm the pink bunny. Ayana, who are you today? What's your costume?
Ghostbusters.
Good, make sure we're talking our mic.
Stance. Yes, Stance. Which one was that?
I don't know.
Stance?
I think you're just a Ghostbuster.
Okay, cool. I'll take it.
Okay, good.
Is it the name?
Can you hear Ayana nice and clear? Okay, good. Jess is also going to wave. We got the Jess camera. Jess, wave into your camera.
Where's your camera?
That's your camera.
Behind him.
Oh.
Yeah, we got the Jess camera. We got the GoPro. Antonio came over my house today and was just like, "Oh, you're upgrading. You're always upgrading." I'm like, "Yeah."
That's what we're talking about today. Upgrades.
Yeah. And Antonio is a hot dog today.
I am a hot dog.
You're hot dogging.
And I am a green hot dog.
That doesn't look green at all.
With ketchup. I'm a green hot dog with ketchup. And cheese filling. I'm a cheese-filled hot dog.
That's mustard.
I know.
Antonio has a hot dog costume on. I feel like it's a regular red hot dog.
Could be a very regular red hot dog, or it could be a green hot dog with ketchup on top and a cheese filling.
These are our costumes for today.
Okay, there we go.
A bunny, a Ghostbuster, and a hot dog. If you want us to support us, help us get some more costumes, send us some. P.O. Box 10961, Oakland, California.
Yeah. Did you get any costumes from last time?
I didn't. But my friend Laura, who listens in Colorado, she's like, "Oh, if I'm at the Goodwill, I'll get you a costume." A
Goodwill costume. Ooh. What does that look like?
Whatever they got.
Yeah, whatever they got.
Oh, I thought it was a Goodwill employee costume.
No.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, today, 15 Minutes to Fame, we're going to talk about staying focused.
And if you saw in the beginning of the episode, we were focused.
What do you think about that, Jess? Jess camera.
Jess camera.
How
was Jess reacted to this?
That's the part of the manifesting, and that's the part of you coming over here, you saying you're always upgrading. I talk about the stuff, so anything we talk about in this episode today, maybe in like a week or two or like a month or whatever, you're going to be like, "Oh, you got it."
Yes.
Yes. $1 million.
Yes, $1 million.
Yeah,
$1 million.
You know what? You got your priorities straight. Clearly, I'm not functioning well.
Was that prompting me to ask for something for next week? You asked for $1 million.
No, I'm pointing it out.
Oh, I thought you were
over. You're like, you're always doing upgrades.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's the whole point. We come here, we manifest something. We say we're going to try to do this. And then in like an episode or two, it shows up. And it's like, okay. We're going to get more. Look, I started this, and I was just like, okay, it was just me. I'm going to have some of my friends come in, be guests. Look, you guys come. I say, oh, we're going to do some costumes. Got the costumes.
For anyone out there, I'm obviously doing a terrible job of focusing.
What's Yeah.
A little bit off. I'm a little bit off here, but I love the idea. So I'm going to ask for two. I also want $1 million.
Okay.
Let's go do that.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to be quiet?
That's watching on the Jess cam there. Just say hi to everybody. Wave to everybody.
Yeah.
No, you can wave it on your cam. No. The
GoPro. The GoPro.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Yeah. We are talking about being focused.
Okay.
And I don't know if you watched the last episode. Which
I
don't
did
think you
not.
watched it.
No, I heard the first episode.
Your boyfriend Ronnie, who refuses to come on the show, watches it.
Oh,
He messaged you?
Ronnie got called
You
out.
told me he was watching it.
Yeah, he watched a little bit of it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway.
I heard it. It sounded good to me.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I work with the audio, the mics. I used to work at a radio station.
Yes, you did.
Anyway, okay, so as I was editing that episode, really fun, very funny. Make sure you go check it out.
You realized.
Yeah. I gotta give the pitch here.
Oh, what's the... Yes,
make
do
sure
it.
you go and watch. Please like, subscribe, follow, but go back and watch some of our podcasts, because yes, this is all audio, but it's also all video. We have it on YouTube. I'm going to put up the YouTube link right now. Boom, put it up. All right, so I'm watching it. It was very funny to watch it. It was the episode where you were a tiger, I was a unicorn, we were on the couch.
But... Was there a but?
No,
No,
I wasn't going to say but at all.
But, Antonio, you need to be more focused. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
I think I was going to say but. I
Right?
lost focus.
No, maybe we don't want to do buts. Do we want to do buts?
Yeah.
Because we want to do ands. Or do we want to do ands?
Actually,
We wanna do
the
ands.
concept of but, or therefore, is a good script writing tool. We'll talk about that in a bit. But anyway, what I was going to say, I was watching the podcast, and it looks really cool, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm really happy of how this has grown, how we're continuing to do it. I actually would say I was having a lot of fun with it, just editing it, and it was making me be like, okay, yeah, we can do more fun stuff. But there was a point I'm like, I wonder how it is to the audience, because we were just kind of riffing it up at the beginning, and then we kind of start talking about stuff for real, and then it made me think of like, what's our real focus of this podcast here. I know it's to be motivational and inspirational and encourage people, but it's also fun. And so that's kind of what I think we should talk about. We'll just kind of make sure we know what our focus is. How do we stay focused? How do we know when we've gotten off focus? I actually have a ton of projects that I have going right now that I'm trying to be like, all right, I need to close out all of these before I start on something. What do you think, A?
I think it depends on the person. Like, some people are like, I'm going to finish this before I move to the next thing. And also, I think juggling projects is also great because the creativity kind of can flow in between all the things that are going on.
Okay.
I can see that.
To the mic. I want to make sure I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to be like, I'm bring the mic closer to you. Yeah. And then actually,
Excuse
A
me.
brought her trumpet today, so
Nice.
we're still working on that intro. Also, I added an intro to this, the last one. So I feel like staying focused. I want to stay focused. My biggest thing. Here's my greatest fear in life: being stagnant.
Okay.
Right? Doing the same thing just over and over. Now, I really embrace this thing about me, because then it means like I'm always like, well, how can we grow? How can we evolve? It makes me open to change, open to new ideas. I'm like, okay, yeah, because that can keep things moving. That's what I'm about. But I also know that there's the concept of like being the upside of kind of doing just the same thing, that discipline, that focus, is you see it grow over time. Sometimes when you're like, I don't want to be stagnant, I want to also be moving and doing things, then you're doing a bunch of stuff. And there's that whole theory out that's now is like, when you're multitasking, are you really getting anything done?
Well, you're getting stuff done, but whether or not it feels fulfilling, right?
No, I think people multitask for different reasons. Sometimes people think that if they multitask, they are actually being more efficient. They are doing more stuff, but they could actually be lacking in focus.
Oh, yeah,
and
I
it
can
could
see
be
that.
actually taking the things they are getting done are actually taking longer than if they would have just kind of sat down and drilled that kind of one thing, right?
But you're talking about multiple projects, or you're talking about actually multitasking?
I think they're all one and the same.
Yeah.
I'm talking about it in both, because sometimes, okay, I have a bunch of projects, but like I have a film I've been trying to finish. It's driving me crazy, right? But here's my real reason why it's taking so long, because it's like I got to shoot a part of it, and then I got to stop and raise more funds.
Yeah.
And then I got to shoot another part of it, and I got to stop and raise more funds. I run out of money, and then I'm like, okay, once I get the funds again, I'm back to it. This is actually how Robert Townsend, he shot Hollywood Shuffle.
He did bit by
Such
bit.
a good movie.
Yeah, he said he had to do it bit by bit, because he was like, he would run out of money. So he was like, they would just shoot a little bit, sit on it a while, and then go back to it. And that's, I think, how I approach a lot of things, especially when I come to something that's kind of difficult or hard in the moment. And I'd be like, all right, I'm a little frustrated. I don't really know what to do. I'll actually, and I encourage other people to do this. Stop for a second. and just sit back and take a break from it and see if the answer kind of comes to you.
Agree.
Right?
Yeah. Right. I do think that's part of the process, though. Well, and when it comes to money, that shit's just out of your control. So, like, you can't, excuse me, you can't do it if you don't have the resources. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that the creative process stops or that the research stops.
Yeah. Is there a mikO Tolliver with one L?
There are Tollivers with one L. Okay. Like Don Tolliver, the rapper.
Yeah. So they're probably... Do you know if there's a mikO Tolliver with one L?
No.
We should look into that. We'll find
out. Although I think one time...
no, I don't want to watch that.
One time I did Google myself, and it came up a mikO Tolliver, and it was this lady, and it was not me at all. And I was like, this is identity theft. It has to be. Like, she was this black lady. It was a weird profile somewhere on the internet for something, and I think she was in a different state. And I was like, oh, once my wallet got stolen. So maybe it was that, but... She told us, like, yeah, I'm mikO Tolliver. And I'm like, no, you're not.
But she could be mikO Tolliver. She could be, right?
A pretty original name. I don't think that they're going to be multiple.
You don't think there's enough?
And then a 2L Tolliver at that? Come on.
Well.
We'll do some research.
Yeah, anyway, we'll look that
back to it.
Focus.
Yeah,
focus.
That's Antonio's goal. He was like, what's the topic going to be today? And I'm like, we're going to talk about focus. And he's like, oh, should we talk about focus?
And be unfocused. Yes, I was going that route. But going back to focus, I think multitasking is a sham. I don't think people can really multitask. They can't really do two things at the same time.
Okay.
Right.
Say more about that. Give us an example.
Okay, like, people talk about you're in the office and you can photocopy and you can do this other thing and shred papers or whatnot. It's like, okay, you're still doing it separately. You're not doing it at the same time. So we should get it out of our minds that we're actually going to be able to do two things or think about two things at the same time. I don't think we can actually do that, right? I think we can do I think we could try to do multiple things at the same time, but we're really not. We can't really focus on multiple things at the same time. Do you think you can focus on two things at the same time?
So I always use this example as someone who grew up in the marching band. You are remembering like the formations you're making on the field. Yeah. You're playing the music. You're multitasking.
But don't you get into muscle memory then at that point where it's like you're not really
true.
You got to see
like hand-eye coordination. Like, can you do two things at once? Because that's like playing the drums, right? Or like if you drive a stick, it's like, can you work the feet gear and then the gear shift with your hands at the same time? I'm thinking multitasking of just like, oh, I'm working on a film right now. I'm also working on a documentary now. I'm also starting a new business right now. I also have a podcast. Like, you have all these projects. And as an artist, sometimes we have to do that to survive, especially if we haven't, like, made it to that certain place financially. Like, you are kind of like, I got a bunch of... Like, as an artist, if people ask me, they'll like, well, what do you do? I go, I'm a multimedia artist. Okay, what does that mean? And I go, well, I work in music and film. And then that could mean so many things, but... Ultimately, what I'm thinking in my head is, if they paying, I'm playing. If they need someone to come play guitar somewhere and they're paying me, yes, that's what I do. If they need me to go somewhere and work as a script supervisor on set, that's what I'm doing. If I am working on a podcast, I'm like, oh yeah, we got a new episode we're putting together. Like, I'm doing all those things, but they're all kind of happening at the same time with the goal of it all goes into one pot. To create what my artistic career is. So multitasking like that. But you can get caught up in that because I've seen a lot of people be like, okay, I want to do this project. Sweet, do the project. And then maybe like a week later, well, I'm also doing this project. Okay, sweet, do that. And then you hear the next week, I'm starting this project. And it's like, well, where's the finish? You want to make sure things get finished. And because you're focusing on all these things that you want to do, is anything actually getting done? Or we just kind of started? Like I said, I hate being stagnant. I hate being flaky. Like, sometimes I'll tell people I'm doing this project, and it's like, well, I told people I'm doing it, so I gotta do it now. You know what I mean? And sometimes I won't tell people something I'm doing because I'm like, if it doesn't work out, I don't want to be like, I don't want somebody. No, not even psych. I don't want people to come up to, like, I still have people coming up to me like, how's your film? Is it finished yet? And I'm like, no. Not finished. In my mind, I know it's going to get finished maybe in the mind of somebody who's kind of flaky, they're thinking it will get finished. But like, think of how many artists or people you've come across are going to start a project, and you're like, he's always starting something new, but it's the maintenance. Anybody can get anything. I am 100% certain I could go to the dealership right now and drive off the lot with a Porsche, but can I maintain it?
This is true.
You know, like, can I
that's
keep
real.
up with the payments? Oil changes are $600. Like,
that's real.
That's what I think of when I think of like, we're multitask. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. And it looks great. And it looks glamorous. And you're exciting. And everything's so busy. But what are we really getting done? The focus. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Go ahead.
No, you go first.
No, I was just gonna say, I think someone who came to mind as a multimedia at this point, like mogul, I think Issa Rae does that well. Oh. Like, she has a lot of projects. It seems, not like I'm a huge follower. I appreciate her work. Let's get that clear. But like, between a restaurant or a TV show or a podcast or a movie, like working on all these things at once. So it's possible. And let's talk about the importance of a team, though. Like, it's different when one person is trying to maintain all of these things versus like a team, which you are building a team. So even earlier today, Jess was like, hey, mikO, you don't have to do all this setup by yourself. Like, I can help, we can help. So that also plays a role into the productivity and the consistency of getting things done, in my opinion. Yeah. But what were you going to say?
Well, jumping off of what you're talking about, you have multiple projects, but they're all enveloped in the same thing, right? Which is being creative. And for a lot of folks, it probably is all happening at different times, but it's just being doled out at once or at a time frame where it feels like, oh, that person is doing a lot of different things and being productive about it. But maybe those projects were, took 2 years or 3 years or whatnot, right? Okay. So you got to remember that. So you're not productive. You're still doing what you're doing. But maybe it feels like it's taking a long time because you're the one in it. But from the person outside who's watching, they're seeing episode after episode after episode. When the film comes out, the film comes out. But, I think most people know that when you're starting off, it's going to take a few years unless you have the money to back it up and be able to just pump something out immediately.
Really? You feel that? Okay. So I find it interesting you said that as I was editing the last podcast. Check out our previous episodes. You did actually say something. You were like, I think I was talking about like, oh yeah, this isn't the first time I've done a podcast. Mm-hmm. Maybe this turns into something big. And then you were like, if it doesn't, we'll do the next one. And I was like, yeah, we've already done one. And you were like, yeah, and you were saying, and you were like, that was never going to be a big, huge thing. And I was like, I never thought knew you felt that way way the whole time. I was thinking, oh,
you mean about the on the deck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be that big.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't think so. we were doing it as practice. We were playing around. The whole goal was to play.
Okay, so
I mean, it could have gotten someplace.
No. A few comments I have to you saying this.
Yeah.
Okay, one, I think that's fire that you say that. I think that's fucking fire. I love that you have this just like just play around and we'll figure it out. Because there are people who don't feel that way.
Yeah.
They're just like after like 3 episodes. I mean, I totally felt that pressure when I was there at the station and be like, it's not this big thing. What are all the numbers? And I'm totally that type of person who can put like a lot of pressure on myself over something that's really superficial. Mm-hmm. So I think that's crazy that you felt that way because we worked on that for like 3 years. Yeah. I mean, and it did actually grow into something. Like we got a huge grant, we got all this equipment, we got extra. We're able to build a team. So it was actually generating something big. Yeah. But there's totally those people outside in the outside world who didn't see that we had a grant, didn't see we had interns, and we'll be like, you don't have a huge following. It's not doing this. It's not like they'll focus so much on the negative things. And I guess maybe sometimes people have this approach where like, all right, well, I'll just start something new. As opposed to some people like myself will be like, no, that means we need to anchor down, drill this some more. Like, what can we polish on this to make it better? But I did think that was interesting. You said that in the last episode. You were like, even this. You were saying even this. Like, if this doesn't turn anything, the next one. It'll be the next one. And then it'll be the next one. You kept, but people really don't think that way. People are really just like, it's been 3 weeks.
But that's not how it works, though. You know what I mean? Like, that's just...
That. Some people don't know that. Yeah. Or I've been telling people they don't listen to me.
In what world do you, like, work on something of quality and like it becomes a fucking hit. Like, sure, we see it here and there, but those are one-offs. Like, I think if most people think about who they consider to be successful or whatever they might want to emulate, do your research. And that person's been working for years and years and years on something. So that's just not how it works.
Yeah, and I guess maybe that pressure from the outside of people who don't understand that, I can totally get caught up a little bit in that pressure of trying to like convince that other person, like, no, it's here, like just stay focused, stay on this, stay committed to it, stay disciplined. And they're like, no, that's not anything, you should just quit.
No.
And then you get nowhere.
Well, maybe they're not. What if the question is are they having fun doing it? Maybe they weren't having fun the whole time, and their goal was to reach whatever goal they wanted to reach, and because they weren't reaching it conditionally, then it just wasn't worth it for them. Maybe they were actually going for I'll say fame. Maybe it is fame. Maybe they wanted to be recognized or acknowledged. But isn't it more fun to do it and just have fun? And then if it turns out to be something really successful in the sense of having a lot of people watching, then that's kind of icing on the cake. Like you're having a great time, and on top of it, you're getting a following versus trying to pursue just get a following.
I agree.
I think that's really good. That's actually that's a really good thought to sit with. I know that some people can't do that. I feel that way. Mm-hmm. I feel that way even more. Like, I feel like right now in my life, I'm really just kind of like, I want to have some fun. Mm-hmm. Like I told you, I was like, hey, bring your trumpet. And you're like, I'm kind of rusty. And I'm like, the bar is real low. Mm-hmm. The bar is really low. We're going to play around with some sounds, record some stuff. Mm-hmm. By the way, we're working on our intro. I imagine after this, we're going to work on a little bit, recording just a little bit sounds for the intro, so which I'm going to go back and edit and make it the intro for this. So I hope you guys enjoyed the intro. If you did, let me know.
Let us know.
Yeah, but like, I'm down to like, I feel like I want to have some more fun. I actually think that might be an element that has been missing from my creativity. Not that I'm not having fun, but I could have more fun. Mm-hmm. Like, I actually, this morning, I had to go back to my storage unit and grab some more equipment for us to do this. Yesterday, I grabbed a bunch, and then I got home and was like, oh, I forgot this, I forgot that. And I was like, what? I can't believe I forgot that. So I had to drive all the way to, like, Alameda, my storage unit, grab, like, extra, like, lights, mics, and stuff, stands. And then it was so weird, because I'm, like, in the car, I'm driving back. And it made me think of this other time when I was working on when I first started developing the project for my short film, like my Section 8 project. I was putting together these pallets in the garage of an apartment building that I lived in, and I was making a stage, and I was setting up a green screen, and I'm like, why am I doing this? And at the time, I felt like I quit music, I quit art, I don't want to do this, it's stupid, right? Mm. But I was like, here I am. I'd gone down to like Home Depot behind it and grabbed like these free pallets. I'd gotten all this cardboard to put on top so we wouldn't step through the holes. And I'm like, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm like, why am I doing this? And I was like, this is what I do. And that actually, when I was grabbing the equipment out of the storage unit today and I'm driving back, and I was like, there was something about that moment that actually felt really good. Like, this is my sweet spot. Like, I've been doing this. I've been playing guitar 27 years. I've been pursuing being an artist maybe like 24-ish. And I've built up this collection. As we were setting up stuff here, remember we were trying to set up the mics, and a little piece that dropped out, and you're like, do I have another? And I was like, yeah, I have another. Like, I'm like, it's gotten to this point. Yeah, and another. I'm like, I don't even get so mad anymore, because I was like, if I don't got it, I can get it. Like, whatever you want, we can figure it out. I've worked at a radio station. I know what it is to go down to the engineering room and like, all right, we keep these spare pieces. Or just, you get here in my house, maybe you should get rid of some stuff. And I'm like, no, I put all my furniture on wheels so we can move it around real quick, because I know we're going to set things up and then get back to it. But, like, just really feeling like that actually felt really fun for that moment, to feel like I was just loading up the car. It totally seems like this big old task, like a chore. But there was something in that was like, everything that I've done in my life, in my career, maybe not the most money, maybe not the most fame, but it's come to this moment and it feels really good because I made all those decisions to stick with it and keep going and just to try to stay focused and disciplined on it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and that is, I was thinking as you were talking and you started to speak, is like, what's the motivation? Like, what's the why behind it? That always is going to play a part into the fuel, right? Like some things you just got to do the shit to do the shit. Like that's just consistency, discipline. It's not always going to be fun, but at the end of the day, why are you doing it? And that often is going to like show itself in the product. So like I think when people aren't having fun, it could be a hit, but eventually it's like the authenticity, like the organic pieces of it are going to get lost, you know? And so, and it just feels superficial. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess, you don't want it. I think you say it feels superficial. I think for me it feels corny.
Corny?
Corny, yeah.
Corny. Explain that.
I don't know. Just sometimes you ever looked at art and you're just like, it could be cool, but it just seems kind of amateurish and corny.
Do you have an example?
Yeah, you kind of lost me. Like, what do you mean? Like when it's not authentic? When it's
just lame art. I feel like even if I think of some of my art that I've like sometimes I don't want to go back into it. I'm like, it just seems so corny. Like you just feel like you cringe a little bit.
But do you cringe because you weren't authentically there and making it, or it was like you were trying to do something that maybe what made it corny? I guess
maybe like trying too hard, like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever, as a teenager, you've seen somebody and you're like, they're just trying too hard.
Yeah.
And it just makes you embarrassed for it.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, corny is fun, right?
Yeah. I mean, the costumes we have, yes, it's very corny. That's fun.
Yeah.
But there's sometimes when it's like, you're like, no, I want to be taken serious as an artist for this particular skill or whatever, and it's not coming off.
You mean when the ego gets in the way, where you kind of get a little bit embarrassed on it?
Maybe, or just... maybe feeling like there's something superficial. There's something that's not the most authentic thing is coming through. And maybe you kind of haven't figured out what that real authentic thing is. And so I want to imagine that superficiality is based on creating a persona that you've probably pulled from others. You're like, well, I want to be like that, and I want to be like that. But it's how to really embrace yourself to be like, okay, this is really... how do I find whatever my flaws are and use them as strengths, right? Because I imagine if you're trying to hide something and being superficial, there's something, you're trying to hide something, right?
Yeah.
But how do you take what you want to hide and be like, let's put it on display, and that is actually going to be the winner?
Or what about thinking, how about this? If you think about it in a way of doing it, quote unquote, ugly, right? Like not trying to make it look pretty or not trying to be pretty, right? There's something freeing about that. What I'm thinking about is like I was watching some video online about I forget the movie, but Jim Carrey learns Korean. I think it might be like Yes Man or something like that. But he learns Korean in the film, and they were judging his pronunciation, and the person said he actually has good pronunciation because he's a character actor, and then he is very expressive, and sometimes to the point where it's trying to make it funny, but he actually does a good job because he goes all the way. And there's some folks where they're so worried about how they look that they hold back, but in the end it's like if you just kind of, I don't say kind of quote unquote make it ugly, but just don't care of how it looks, and if it's ugly it's fine for you. And then there's those individuals where when they do it they actually go far because that embarrassment isn't there, right? And I think that's what makes it corny or makes it cringy, is like, oh, that person is really embarrassed and there's something about that embarrassment, but in the end it's really not an embarrassing thing. You're on stage, you do something, it may not work, but you just kind of move on, right? If you're able to move on from that and not stay in that moment of this doesn't feel good, right?
That's the improv in you.
But I think that's important for what you're doing because you're putting out a bunch of different ideas, different projects. And then the goal is like you're going to finish them. Whatever happens, happens. You just leave it up to the universe. Right? Yeah. Some people hold off because they're waiting for that idea that's going to be perfect, that everyone's going to want to watch or whatnot, and then it never gets done. And then you see all these other folks where you're like, oh, wow. If you look at their track record, they did like project after project after project, and then they got somewhere. And some people just don't even start because I think that's when we were talking about, when I said I didn't think it was going to go anywhere, is because the content we were doing was pretty much trying to interview folks who didn't want to be on camera. So I kind of knew that it wasn't going to go anywhere. Okay. But what we did was you did it every single week, right? And I remember that was, for me, that was a goal. It's like, can we do this every single week and get something done? And then you're gone, and now that it's not happening every week, right? Or it's not even not happening. But the goal was to see if we could do it every week.
Can you do it?
Can you do it?
Yeah, that was the goal for this too. I was just like, I? That was my biggest hang up for doing a podcast. I'm like, okay, you got it. Anybody can drive. I can drive off the lot right now with a Porsche. Can I keep it up? It up? And actually, I feel like I have found a way to keep it up in a way that like works for me and not putting too much pressure on myself.
Yeah,
that's a real thing that I've worked. Like I feel like whenever I'm dating someone or even some of my closest friends, they get to a point and they're like, you put so much pressure on yourself. I'm like, oh, you can see that, huh? Yeah. So I feel like, but I'm like starting to have a little bit more fun with it.
Yeah, and then you do it with people that you have fun with, who have fun with you, right? Because it's the worst when you're working with somebody, like, oh, they don't want to be here, but they're kind of feeling obligated, right?
Where does the pressure come from? Like, is it you don't want to fail? Is it?
I don't think that I will fail. Maybe I feel like the biggest pressure for me is just that voice in my head of maybe people who I feel like, I don't know if they see me in the same light as I see myself.
Fuck them. I'm sorry. I mean, like
that's the
answer. Like I can't convince you. Like I'm gonna do what I do. How you interpret it. I was actually watching a snippet from Hollywood Reporter, like when they have a round table, and there was like Quinta Brunson, Lisa Kudrow, Keke Palmer, 3 or 4 other women. And Quinta Brunson was saying, like, she doesn't allow herself to hear the comments or read the comments that people, have as it relates to her art. She's like, I did it. I put it out there, and that's it. Like, what happens to it after that is not, almost like, I don't care what people think about it. And then she made the comparison as to when we go to an art gallery and you're looking at art, that artist doesn't give a... It's not like the artist is asking you to leave comments under their painting on how you feel. Like, you go, the way I interpret it is different how the way you interpret it, and it's in that gallery, and if someone wants it, they're going to buy it and put it on their wall. Otherwise, you walk by it and go to the next piece.
I get that, and I'm all about that. Here's where I get hung up. It still does feel good, though, when people are like, I like this.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
I like this. You can make money at it. You got to follow it. When it creates so much freedom for you. Or I'm thinking maybe it does create freedom and it doesn't. Maybe it locks you into a prison and you're just not, I'm not aware of that yet. But I, like, that still feels good, though, when people are like, yeah, we fuck with your shit.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Does it make you feel like, I'm trying to think of how to say this. The output, you're like, yeah, it did what I wanted it to do. Or the outcome, should I say. But when you're doing it, though, if you still feel that joy, then it's the icing on the cake for someone to say, oh, yeah, I really like that. And there's still going to be somebody who says, I don't really care for that. But if you felt good and happy and creative while doing it, like, what else is there?
I guess that's what it is.
Question for you. When you talk about not wanting to just be stagnant, you always want to do something new, to learn something new. Where's that coming from?
Not being stagnant?
Or like, is there an example that you've seen growing up that you thought, okay, this is an example of being stagnant or doing the same thing over and over again, and then to you see that thinking, that's not the type of life that I want to live?
I guess, I grew up with my grandmother until I was like 8. That was cool. We would go out on weekends and do stuff, like shopping here. We'd go on little trips there. We'd go stuff with our church. Like, we did a little adventure every weekend. I do remember as a teenager, by then I was living with my mom, and I complained to her once, and I was just like, we never do anything on the weekends. Like, I'd go back to school, and people would be like, oh, we went here, we went there, we went on this little trip, and I'm like, oh, I was just at home. I remember complaining that to my mom. I think the next week or so, she took us to, like, Tiburon or something, which is so funny, because I remember her taking us there. And Tiburon is like this like more affluent area, and like I remember feeling like we were window shopping in all these stores. And I'm like, we can't afford any of these stuff, so it actually made me feel really poor, even though she took us somewhere. But even at the time, I wasn't thinking like, oh, she's trying to take us somewhere. Like I think she was trying to be like, I'll take you somewhere, but we hadn't really talked about it. So in my mind, I was thinking, why are we going to Tiburon? Right? I think of stuff like that, and just being like, I want to be active in my life. I remember too, there was, this is I've told this story before. There was this couple I knew in high school, and they would fight all the time. In fact, they fought all week and then just made up on the weekends. I think them fighting was just like them putting on a show for the whole school, whatever. But here I am out of high school for a little bit now, and I think it went 15 years of them just off and on, going back, getting each other, and hearing how their relationship was actually taking steps backwards. And I was like, that's stagnant. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to feel like I keep going back to the same relationship just to get there and be like, oh yeah, that's why I don't like being in this relationship. But still coming back. That's what it makes me think of. Those, when I think of stagnant, I think of those two instances. Not going anywhere and doing the same stuff with the same people. And just not seeing your life evolve, not seeing it grow, not seeing embracing new things. I'm not that type of person who's afraid of change. Something change comes and I'm like, all right, well, either we'll figure it out, or I've already been working on something new, and here's my chance to use that out in the world. But that's I don't like being stagnant.
Yeah.
That being flaky too is a big thing, especially when I first became an artist. I was trying to tell people, I want to do art for a living, and I'm a kid, and people are like, you can't make money at that. And people think, oh yeah, just the stereotypes that exist amongst artists are not true. I totally know a lot of artists who are super reliable, super hustlers, really trying to focus, get things done, and it's because you have these few bad apples that people think, oh, yeah, we're gonna, you're an artist, that means you don't have a job, ha ha ha. And I'm like, actually, I have a lot. I have a lot of jobs. That's where I go with that. I don't know. We're 15 minutes to fame. We're just talking about the artist hustle here, what it's like to try to stay focused, try to stay committed to your stuff. I'm here, mikO Tolliver. You can follow me around at mikO Tolliver, 2 L's. I'm here with YannaT 904.
Yep.
And at Antonio, who
there you go.
You can't follow him because he doesn't like you to follow him.
Yeah, you can follow me through mikO Tolliver.
We're hoping you're enjoying our little podcast here. I think we're going to spend some time. Let's fiddle about with some instruments and stuff and play around. But thank you guys for checking us out. Remember to follow us, like and share, subscribe, share this. You can watch this podcast. You can listen to it. Go to my website, mikotolliver.com, and also join us on Patreon. For $5, you can see some of our outtakes, our hidden episodes. You have to follow it and become a fan on Patreon. But it's great because we're raising money so we can get some more mics, get some more cameras. I think we're going to have another intern coming in August. I'm working on it. But we still got Jess of the interns. So it's all good. Thank you so much. 15 minutes to fame.
Yeah.
That's us, folks. All right. Well, it looks like that's a wrap for this episode of 15 Minutes to Fame. If this inspired you, make sure you're following me on social media at mikO Tolliver, and that's with 2 L's. Check out my website, www.mikotolliver.com, and stay tapped in with everything I've got going on. Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you found value in this, share it with a friend who needs that extra push. Remember, it only takes 15 minutes a day to move closer to your dreams. I'll catch you in the next one.